it's banned. That's how the song goes.
It's banned. Come on, you know the words.
Banned.
1 week since you looked at me, cocked your head to the side and said I'm angry. 3 days since the living room.
No, dude, that's the second time.
Oh, that's the second.
That's in the middle. I should know them better because I listen to that song all the time at work. Because I kind of unironically like that song. And I'm not afraid to admit that. I like the Bare Naked Ladies. I think they're a fun band that makes me feel good about myself.
About myself?
About myself. And I don't care what anyone else thinks. You can't judge me.
I was talking with the FC dudes the other day about the next generation of Hololives. And like that's gonna be interesting. We're gonna get a new generation of EN.
Yeah, we're getting a new EN-eration.
Also, I feel like Hollow Stars EN is gonna absolutely like it's unlike Hollow Stars how it is now. I feel like it'll actually be popular.
Probably, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see EN boys.
The Japanese one kind of screwed them in the sense of being like, all right, your audience specifically is Fujoshi.
You are here to be pretty men.
Yeah, you are here we're targeting for just Fujoshi, no one else. No one else is expected to watch you, just girls that are into pretty dudes. Turns out there's not as many of them as there are dudes into moe cute stuff.
Which should surprise no one, really.
Yeah, they were dipping into a smaller market. I mean, it is a market, it's just a smaller one.
Yeah. I'm hoping we're breaking new ground for some real degenerate shit.
You're just gonna be cool dudes. Just put in cool dudes.
Put in chill dudes.
Me and Sip were saying though, the only thing we're like worried about, it's like, because someone's gonna want to be like, oh, I'm gonna be like the Hachima of like EN.
Yeah.
But like, and they're gonna try to one up her or something. It's like, I don't know. You can be creative without having to be LOL random. It's like, not everyone needs to eat spiders to have like interesting content.
I feel like shooting for Hachima level on purpose is the surest way to fail. That's like
also like I feel like that's gonna cause like a big yabai for like week 1. It's like, all right, this new girl popped up and she's like crazy, and then she did something really bad and immediately has to graduate.
Yeah,
because she tried to push the envelope way too fast.
You gotta ease into it. Build a decent base at first, and then just transition. You gotta take it slow.
Yeah, but too often it's just
LOL random.
Yeah. I feel like they'll at least be good at like vetting people, but still, it's like, so everyone's gonna be like, all right, what's my gimmick? Because when you get, at least it's not as bad as Niji Sanji, because they just throw people in there. They're like, yeah, whatever, here you go.
Yeah, Niji Sanji, everyone is just whatever. Like there basically are no gimmicks. There are a couple people who've worked out their own thing, but for the most part, it's just whatever.
There was one girl that had to quit because another girl complained about her because she didn't like that she had the same accent as her, so she was like, "You're stealing my gimmick."
Your accent can't be your gimmick, dude. You can't just.
They both had a Kansai accent, so she was like, "She's stealing my gimmick."
So is everyone else from Kansai. You can't trademark an accent unless you're Steve Irwin. No VTuber is going to be Steve Irwin, dude.
Yeah, I feel like the boys will take off just because they're going to be like, all right, the Fujoshi thing didn't work that well in Japan. I mean, I guess it worked. They have decent amounts of subscribers. It's just not like gangbusters.
Yeah.
But like
nowhere nears Hololive.
Yeah. But especially if you did it over here, because there's even less of an audience. You'd be tapping into a smaller niche.
Yeah.
So you might as well just make them cool dudes. Just Germa for Hollow Stars.
Germa, I'm telling you, man, Germa for Hollow Stars. He wouldn't actually do it, but like I feel like that's kind of what you need to shoot for.
Because a guy can get decent sub numbers. I think the most subscribed Niji Sanji is the dude who looks like he's from Tokyo Ghoul. And he's got like a million.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
can't
Tokyo
remember his
Ghoul
name.
looking motherfucker.
A lot of the most popular streamers on Twitch are all men. True facts.
Yeah. Which is actually a little weird.
Not really, if you like.
Well, I guess real people, because everyone's just, most dudes generally want to like bully a woman that they see on there, like, oh, she's just an e-thought.
Yeah.
At least with dudes, like, yeah, she'll, we got that connection. You and me, we both like games. We're basically like friends, right? We have a parasocial relationship.
Exactly.
You're my homeboy.
100%.
I wonder if at any point the VTubers are going to actually beat out the regular streamers, because they did a list of the top female streamers, of most watched female streamers of last year, and Pekora came in as 4th, like worldwide. Like I think the top one was like Valkyrae or Pokimane, I don't know, one of them.
I know Pokimane is on the list because I know she's way up there.
Yeah.
I need to know my competition because I can't compete with fucking Germa, but I can compete with Pokimane.
I think Pokimane probably is more popular than Germa. Germa's someone that people know and they like, but he's kind of like...
Germa's weird.
Germa's underground.
Germa is like the weird indie band that you take your friends
following.
To see.
Like everyone knows about him, but not everyone's a fan of him.
No
one's an anti of him where they're like, oh, I can't stand Germa. It's just like, I know of him.
He's hard to hate, but he's not for everybody.
It's time to stop.
It's time to stop.
That's Filthy Frank. Never mind. Filthy Frank should have been a YouTuber. Joji could have kept doing it if he made him a VTuber.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Papa Franco here.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, but he's going to keep himself as distant as he can from that.
Unfortunately. Which, I can understand it. He's trying to do serious music stuff now. So, like, being associated with Filthy Frank would make
said
that
some racy things sometimes, so you know.
Yeah.
Hey, wow. SA, I'm breaking into your car.
You know...
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker.
You can't eliminate the past all the time, but you can distance yourself from it.
You know what? I feel like cancel culture really started becoming a thing after Frank left. Like,
you know why?
Frank kept everyone in line.
Exactly. And people were like, this is okay. This is fine. Because it's Frank. It's Filthy Frank. Everyone likes Filthy Frank.
But then if you tried making Filthy Frank now, they would cancel you.
Because you're not Filthy Frank.
Yeah.
They'd be like, what is this derivative bullshit?
That's mean-spirited.
That's just mean. You're trying to be Filthy Frank, but Filthy Frank didn't mean it. He wasn't mean about it.
Yeah.
He was just a weird guy.
Chin-chino daisuki?
See, it's not mean-spirited. It's a Filthy Frank bit. Everyone loves it. We should stop plagiarizing other people's content and make our own.
Yeah.
What do we do on this podcast? Because that's right. This is a podcast.
We slay on this podcast.
Well, I guess I was wrong. This is the protagonist seat. I'm Ian. That's Alex. He's muted because Kenny's barking. On this podcast,
don't say my dog's name. It's
why?
Anonymous.
What are they going to do?
He has a big, big, famous life outside of here.
Are people going to dox Kenny?
They're going to dox Kenny. They're going to know. they're gonna know who he really is. Do you know who
Are
he? Do you
they?
know what he secretly is? Do you know the dog on the dog food bags? That's him. You just doxed him. You gave away his identity.
The dog on the dog food bags.
Yes. Now
You
everyone's
know,
gonna know.
that one. And
Yeah.
now everyone's going to know.
He's a very talented actor. He plays all of them.
The makeup department does a great job.
He can be a Chihuahua. He can be a Great Dane.
He can be a pug.
But enough about him.
Enough about him. Let's talk about the shows we watch, because we watch 5 of them on this show called The Protagonist Seat that you're listening to right now.
It used to be 10, but we felt like that was too many, and sometimes 5 feels like too many.
Sometimes 5 does feel like too many.
Because specifically for reasons I'll get into this episode.
Let's get started.
I think the Otherside Picnic. That's the first one.
Cool. Kenny's still barking. I forget what happened in this episode.
This
feel
is the beach
bad.
This is the beach episode.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they
Nothing.
go to the beach. Nothing happens. They shoot guns. And then the monsters show up at night because they're super casual about it. They're like, "Hey, we're stuck in the other side, which has been shown time and time again to be exceedingly dangerous, but whatever. Let's just chill out, go in the water, drink some beers. Let's get inebriated in this dangerous place."
We've always wanted to hang out at the beach. Why don't we do it in a deadly alternate dimension? Because fuck it, why not? And then that's basically the episode. Canadian girl teaches Sorao how to shoot. And the monsters show up at night. They're made of garbage. And then there's like little kid monsters that appear in a horde, but they're not really all that dangerous. And then there's like big crab monsters, and those aren't really all that dangerous either.
Everything's super fucking vague.
Yeah. Like they don't even try.
They're like, "Oh, I heard about this on the internet." They don't even explain it this time.
Yeah. This episode feels like a lazy excuse to have a beach episode.
And it's not even a good beach episode.
Nope. Because they can't do anything. Because they don't have anything. Because they're trapped in an alternate shitty dimension.
They shoot some guns. That part's kind of cool. But then the hooligans show up, and then they just shoot the hooligans. But they were monsters, because everything here is a monster.
Yeah, you could probably get away. Yeah, besides the Marines. I feel like you could get away with shooting anybody in the other side, just in general, even if they're not a monster.
Well, I mean, how are you going to take that to court? Where did the murder happen? The other side.
An alternate dimension.
Does the laws even... Do we even have jurisdiction there?
How do they even prove it? Like, they can't prove you killed someone in an alternate dimension. Even the body's over there.
Is it even if you and me, for example, went to a place that, let's just say there's a place with no government, and then I shoot you, and then I go back, and it's disclosed that I did, is it technically murder because it's not on anybody's soil?
I believe they would probably try to get you for murder, specifically because I am also an American citizen.
That's true. We're both U.S. citizens.
I feel like that's how they would go.
Yeah, because there's probably some sort of... because they have international maritime law for the sea and how things happen on that, and that's on no one's territory, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, but do they have international or interdimensional maritime law?
If you get a good enough lawyer, you could probably get off of that.
Yeah.
If you get a lawyer and just say, "You got to bullshit your way through this. Kid, I have a law degree for this.
I have my BS in BS. Or I have my master's in BS. That's what it is. That's the bit. Anyway, that's Otherside Picnic.
I can't really think of anything else that happens.
No, that's basically it. Because, like, the monsters show up and then they fight the monsters and then they just kind of leave.
Yeah, and
Because,
the
oh,
monsters, they're just kind of a horde that they shoot at, and yeah.
yeah, because, like, they figure out they don't even have to go anywhere. They figure out that they can use the hat to open a portal, and they do that, and it also destroys the hat. So they just, like, leave.
And then they're super casual about it. They're like, oh yeah, how do we sneak our guns back? What if we just take them apart and like ship them piece by piece?
And then that doesn't work. So they just I don't even remember what the actual solution is.
We haven't
'Cause
gotten there. They just kind of. Also, the first thing Soawo wants to do is like, the first thing she does when she wakes up, she's like, "Hey, we got to go to school." I'm like, "You're on Okinawa. You're not making it to school."
I think you're gonna have to miss a day. That's very true.
I know it's an island, but that's it because they have to catch a plane. That's at least probably 2 or 3 hours for a flight.
Yeah, they have to somehow, with basically no money, get a plane.
I
Good
imagine
job.
it's probably not that bad inter country travel.
I would hope not, especially in Japan, because it's not like the US where flying to like from Boston to LA takes like 4 hours.
Yeah. Actually, I probably would only take them like 2 hours by plane to get from Okinawa to Tokyo.
Oh
If
yeah,
that. Probably like an hour and a half, maybe.
wouldn't be that bad.
But
Uh,
yeah, nothing really happens. But that's actually not the show I was kind of at this week. I was at Boonies Kid.
I'll be honest, I can't Oh, this is they go to a
They go to the
resort.
hotel. It's more my issue with this, just the show, how it's been recently. At first, the jokes were pretty good. I felt like the comedic timing was on point. Now I feel like we're just kind of running the gambit of the same jokes.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing every week. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is no longer interesting, and the characters themselves don't have enough character for me to actually care.
They're not exactly. They're not elaborating on anybody's characters in any meaningful way.
In fact, people have less character now. For example, Marie, now she just has the same gimmick as the village chief. Just
Yeah, they
lusting after Lloyd.
we talked about character assassination against Satoko last week, and now we're kind of realizing that they've been doing that against Marie this whole time. Because like they've just been taking all of her character away.
It's not really a character. It's just they just stopped giving her anything else to do.
And that's disappointing. The harem aspect of this show, I feel like drags it down.
I mean, yeah, because he doesn't really feel like a harem protagonist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If he was just like a cool guy and they just let everyone else be friends without having to worry about the harem thing, even if they still let
Yandere girl be Yandere because that's her gimmick.
yeah. Well, like if they took
He's
the
just a nice boy that every girl falls in love with, but he's just
it
boring.
doesn't
And the gimmick with Lloyd is just every single place they go, everyone goes, this guy can't be that strong, and then he is, or
and
this
then
guy
he
can't
is.
possibly be impressive, and then he is.
Or something is gonna whatever's coming is gonna kill me because I can feel its power level from far away.
Yeah, or like they're gonna do something like, oh, this would destroy a regular person, but it has no effect on him, and it's just played like a comedic bit. And he doesn't even understand what the situation even is because he's so powerful.
Yeah.
Doesn't understand when people try to hurt him, and he doesn't understand that he's basically a walking force of God.
It's yeah. It's I it yeah
This episode made me especially when I watched it because the setup is fine. Like all the characters show up at the resort. It should be a funny, scenario and stuff. But I don't care about any of them, so it doesn't mean anything. I don't care to see them interact anymore.
Because it's not really all that interesting, because it's always the same interactions. So it's like...
it's the same thing.
They're going to show up, and then they're going to make the same jokes. And that's a bummer.
They threw Alan away this episode because his only purpose is getting thrown away for Lloyd. Just like being funny, like, look at Alan getting hurt.
I think it would have been a lot funnier if instead of throwing him away, like, they actually had to pretend like it was a wedding interview with Alan and
also,
have them
she's so
do
crazy that she was gonna straight up murder Alan.
Yes,
like,
I feel like she's a little bit too far.
I get that he's like, not your preferred pick, but he's still part of your friend group.
Yeah, you are friends with this person.
I get okay.
And it's just, there's too much stuff at play, so it gets a little.
In fact, his harem's kind of large. There's especially when you see the ending, like, we're not even done adding all the people, and it's kind of just, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And most of their shit's already done.
We've done Marie's arc. We've done, I think, the two girls from the other school. I think we've done their arc, because I don't think they have another one.
At least the big one. And then we did Metal Arm Girls thing.
Yeah, which is the same arc as the other two girls.
And I guess we're solving the Yandere Girls one now because her dad's there, and she's like, my dad doesn't love me.
And her dad is also like, he's like, he's being investigated by Alan's dad because Alan's dad thinks he's illegally gathering treants, I guess.
I don't know. I don't care.
Explained it, but I was A, not really following along, and B, didn't really care either. Because I knew it wasn't important.
It's just, I don't know. That's my thing, is that I don't care about the characters in this show, so I don't care about the character interactions. And I saw potential early on, but then it's just kind of been like, whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone's connection feels very hollow.
There was potential, but they dropped it.
Can we drop it?
I think we can drop it.
Cool.
This is our show. We don't have to watch this anymore if we don't want to.
Yeah, it's not even like offensively bad or anything. It's just kind of boring now.
Yeah. And
it's not like, oh, this show has offended me. Or like, this show sucks. It doesn't even suck. It's just, I could do something else with the 20 minutes.
We could. And like, if
I still feel bad out of the fantasy shows we didn't take Jobless Reincarnation, because that is pretty good.
Yeah, we picked the wrong fantasy show. But you know what? We make these calls, and
we live with them.
We live with them. We live with the consequences.
And moving on, before we move on, hey, Ian.
No, I haven't played Final Fantasy XIV yet.
Did you know that Final Fantasy XIV has a new update where they have added a lot of brand new content to the game? You can now play for free up until level 60, which includes both the base game and the Heavensward expansion. That's a great deal, all for free. Also, they have done a new update where you can play Blue Mage up to level 70. I don't know why you would want to do that, because Blue Mage is stupid, but you can do that. Anyway, that sounds like a great deal.
Thank you, Alex. You may return to your seat. That was an excellent presentation.
Thank you. I was up all night. All night making it.
The effort really shows. I like the poster. I think you did a good job on the poster.
I tried to copy their artwork. I could have traced it, but I didn't want to like print it out and trace it, so I just did it from memory. Now I'm like, who's the artist for Final Fantasy?
I don't know.
Oh, I feel like I should know that. They're a famous artist. Yoshitaka Amano. Yoshitaka Amano. They're the one that did, I think, most of them. I don't think they did the most. Oh, they did something for the most recent expansion. They did a little like card thing. They were like, "Hey, look at this. I came out of my reclusiveness to just throw this together."
That's cool.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Yoshitaka's art that much.
But you were raving about the game.
I am raving about the game, but he doesn't do the art for the game.
Oh no.
He did the old ones, like the original ones.
Oh no. Poor Yoshitaka.
I don't know who does the art for the current ones, but I really want to look it up. But it's good. Whoever does the art right now is good art.
That's good at least.
Yeah, really fun time. Fun time play. Play, why not? You stream on channel, big views. Subbed bits, many bits received.
People can't give me bits yet. I'm not an affiliate.
Get affiliate after big viewer boosts from Buff Game.
I'll just do my best to compete in an already packed market with people who have much bigger followers or much bigger followings than I do.
People do like the watching though someone's like first time MMO experience, because they do like people's first time videos because they're like, I want to see how this person reacts to this thing that I love. And then you don't react the way they want, and then they're like, how dare he not love that scene? And then they stop. But by that point, you've already succeeded.
I've already done better than I could have ever hoped.
Because they've already given you like 5,000 bits.
I think 5,000 bits. Let's see. Bits are basically like pennies.
So is that like $50 or something?
That's $50.
That's pretty good. You got $50.
I would rather people give me $50 worth of gift subs than $50 worth of bits.
Why would gift subs do anything? I thought gift subs are like people giving it to each other.
I would still get money from gift subs, but other people in the community would also get like sub badges and sub only emotes and stuff. Oh. And that's why I would prefer it.
I don't care about the community.
I have to say that I do. I have to say that I do.
He only streams for himself.
Some people do, and that's okay. You do what you do.
Just stream for you. But yeah.
I can't turn that into a transition.
Closing argument, play a Final Fantasy, stream it, become a megastar. I don't care if you even become a megastar. I just want you to play through the story like you're playing a single-player RPG. You can quit after, you can uninstall it, delete your account, do whatever. I just want to hear about it. I just want you to be like, I really enjoyed this part. And I can be like, right? And then we're good. We never have to bother with it again.
You're pushing me so that we can have one bit of shared dialogue.
Well, like I said, I think about it every day in the shower, so we can probably have at least a couple. I'm gonna go take a shower later today, and I'm gonna think about showering. I'm gonna have that like one hand pressed against the wall with my head down like against it, just thinking like, damn, it was that good. I'm gonna do the same thing tomorrow. You know how Devin's old thing used to be like he liked doing the Terminator like thing, but the shower curtain would always stick to his leg every time he tried to do it.
The Terminator thing?
Like, you know where Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's naked at first, and then after he gets up, like, off of one knee.
Oh.
Yeah, he used to like doing that in the shower, but the shower curtain would stick to his leg.
That's a weird thing to tell someone, but that also feels like a very Devin thing to tell someone.
Yeah, exactly. He does that, and I deep think about Shadowbringers. Everyone has their thing that they do in the shower.
Everyone has their thing. I write jokes that I forget.
I feel like the plot, or I feel like the directing for X-Arm, like the storyboarding and stuff, was done in the shower.
It'd be better if they did it in the shower.
So
It was done thinking about taking a shower.
I'm gonna be honest. I think this was the ugliest episode so far, just because the backgrounds were so prevalent in the show, and it really made me realize that it's hard to look at because the backgrounds are so blurry.
I don't know why
They're
the
just
JPEGs.
They're blurry JPEGs. Like we just can't even have a crisp room.
No, I don't understand why
And the
they're.
smoke is always there, every single scene. Also, why when the robot cats were getting shot, why were they flying like 10 feet? They were getting shot by a pistol. There was no reason for them to go flying. They're metal.
I don't understand. I actually, unless she's using it.
She doesn't need to
Desert
reload the
Eagle.
gun either.
Of course she doesn't. That would take animation.
Also, she had one arm throughout the entire thing, so I don't know how she would even do that.
Well, it's a good thing it doesn't matter then.
Also, I got confused because the guy that looks like a Marvel villain shows up and he's fighting them, but then after he's also fighting the cats. But then also it looks like he's working with the cats. I had no idea what was going on.
That guy looks like fucking Spawn.
Yeah, he does. And then he fights the dude, the Italian mafia dude or whatever, and that guy immediately goes, yeah, I have an X-arm too. It creates illusions. And I thought about that. I'm like, why would you tell someone that you're about to fight? Illusions only have power if no one knows it's an illusion. You basically gave out your trump card before the fight started.
I think that might be a translation error. I think what he meant to say is it can manifest like illusions, like bring them into reality. Because I literally can't understand why he would say that otherwise. It's the only thing I can think of.
I hope it's just a Crunchyroll sub error because, oh my god, why?
My power is illusions. All right, I guess I'll just see around them because they don't matter. Ah, shit. How do you see through my...
My power is this, but it has a glaring weakness.
Oh no, how have you defeated my power? You told me how to.
That's like if that's like if Jotaro's fighting Dio, and Dio quickly tells him, yes, my stand power is that I can stop time, but only for 6 seconds. It's like, okay, I'll just stay out of your 6-second range.
Yeah, I'll just move 7 seconds away. And then when you come 6 seconds to me, I'll just hit you. Give you the good old aura. For a little bit of context, they're trying to... I don't understand this fucking decision either. They decide to go undercover at an X-Arm auction where there's a bunch of criminals who are going to buy up the X-Arms. Don't worry, it doesn't fucking matter ever because it's busted up in like 2 seconds. But these are the cops with no disguises going to meet criminals that I'm assuming they've already faced before because they know the fox-faced guy is there.
Yeah, they know the glasses dude, and he's like immediately, oh, the police are here.
I don't fully understand why he wasn't just like, hey, those guys are the cops.
He's playing multi-layered chess. He's not on anybody's side. He's the fox face guy.
That dude's playing like... He's not even playing chess. That dude's just playing a completely different game. He's playing fucking Stratego.
He's playing solitaire mahjong.
He's playing Chinese checkers. I don't understand it.
There's also so many bad cuts because there's always bad cuts. But I remember there's one specifically where someone walks into Alma and it just cuts to them being on the ground awkwardly. We never get the lead
Yeah,
up to it.
it just
Also,
happens.
I realized this episode, Alma's model, the face especially, is bad.
It's awful.
I don't know if she's smiling all the time or if that's just her default expression. She seemed to always have like her teeth out.
That was something that I noticed, is that everyone all the time, 100%, is always smiling. And
It's
I think
eerie.
that's just the default they have for the models.
Oh, and you know what bothered me this episode, which was honestly just fantastic. Bravo, 10 out of 10. So, you know, at the beginning when they're getting briefed and the dude who looks like a cartoon character, not an anime character, a cartoon character shows up?
The cop.
Yeah, the cop guy who is 2D. He doesn't even look animated. Like, you would probably stick him in Archer or something and he'd look like he belonged.
Yes.
And he starts yelling at them, and his facial expression, they don't it's animation. You can just draw him with a frown. He's yelling at them about how they all messed up big time, and his voice is really angry. Same default plain facial expression. Nothing there, just you guys really messed this up. And he's just like,
Yes. Expecting any kind of emotions from any of these characters feels like it's too much. It's too much to ask at this point. They're not going to do it.
And we get the scene right at the beginning where, for some reason, they really want to hold on the Skullface guy's face for a long time.
For so long.
Even though... why? It's not doing anything. It's weird.
There's no meaning behind it. It's not sinister in any stretch of the imagination, because like he doesn't have a sinister smile. He's not making a face because he's just a skull.
And
so
it's not like you're
can't.
doing anything with lighting or anything, because, you know, they don't do anything in this show, so it's not as if the scene was, you know, having him come out of shadows or something, or having his face be obscured by some sort of light.
He's standing still in bright light so that everyone can see.
And he's not doing anything.
No.
It's not even bright light, it's just the default lighting engine.
That's true. They don't really have bright light. The only
fact,
bright
there's no
light is
lighting
the censorship
in this thing. Like, everyone is lit the same on every angle.
Yes, because putting in a new lighting engine would be hard. And they don't want to do that. Even though I'm pretty sure that's just stock in Unity. Because there's no way they used anything besides Unity.
Honestly, I genuinely feel like, at least with the characters and plot, it would be a fine show if it was even just a lazy anime, like they just did the manga panel for panel, basically.
Yeah, because the manga art looks real good. So even if they just like stole things from the manga, just scan it and steal it, it would still be better.
Honestly, make it a slideshow or a PowerPoint just of the manga.
I would watch that because it looks real good.
Could just do one of those things, you know, where it's just the manga playing out, but just dub over it and add sound effects.
Yeah. That would be so much better than what we got, because holy shit, this is bad.
Also, his brother is the skull guy.
Yeah.
That was probably a big reveal if you didn't know the voice actor, but, like, you know, it's like, oh, that's his brother's voice.
Yeah.
I imagine if you were reading the manga, you'd be like, who is the Skull Man?
Oh,
it's his brother.
They could have put a filter on it to kind of obscure it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that would take effort.
The sound mixer guy is already not even... everyone's recording from home for this, it sounds like, anyway, so...
To do something that complicated, you would have to go to the audio track. You would have to right-click on it. And there would... I'm probably 90% sure that there would be a add effect button in the drop-down menu, you would have to click on that and pick
But
one of those effects.
Here's the thing, though. If you pick one of those effects, it's gonna give you a whole option thing with sliding bars about how much you want to add to the effect.
That's true. That would take more than 2 seconds. So it's not acceptable.
Yeah, we don't need it.
It's like lazy, bad, and awful, and I still kind of love it.
Yeah.
When
Despite everything, I think this was the hardest episode to watch.
yeah,
Just because it's so much backgrounds in this episode, and they were so fucking ugly. Like, there's one part where they're first going to the casino, and it's just showing the casino with like one guy standing in there, and it looks so bad. It's so dark. Everything is dark. Like, they're poor JPEGs, but they're very dark for some reason. That's like the only effect they did. They just really up the contrast on all of these poorly rendered background photos we're using.
I'm pretty sure they stole the JPEGs, and that's why they're so dark. They darken the JPEGs to cover up their blatant theft. That's the only thing I can think of. Because holy shit.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm impressed, really. I'm impressed.
I will say nothing can ever top, because the
I'm
glasses...
impressed that they're still going. I'm surprised everyone has not just walked off this project. They're going to see it through to the end.
You might as well. I laughed so hard. The glasses dude is like, don't worry, I've got my own army or my own forces or whatever at one point. And it shows like the heads of a bunch of robots. And I was like, all right, cool. So he's got a cool robot army. Then when they come out and they're sexy cat lady robots, I laughed so hard.
And then the fighting starts. And when they get shot, they go flying. And it's just so bad and weird.
They do a slow motion shot where they follow the bullet into the robot's head, but it doesn't do any damage. They just phase the bullet model into the head, and it's so bad. Oh my god.
I'm surprised they didn't try to at least, put some black spots on it like they did in last week's episode.
Even in post.
Even in post, yeah. I think post gave up.
Post definitely gave up. They were like, you know what? That was so bad. I'm not doing this again. You guys figure it out. And then they just didn't. They just didn't figure it out.
No one figured anything out. I want the show to end, and I want the documentary to be made.
Yes. Give me the documentary about the making of X-Arm. It's like the documentary about... We have some guy sitting there and
just like, oh, sono ka ii desu ka na? And like, it's the subtitles just, well, when we were making this project, all of us got blackout drunk, and we all went to do our respective parts and then put it together to see what happened.
We wanted to do something truly unique. And you know what they did?
To be honest, we made the entire show. We had it done. It was perfect. And then someone kept it all on their laptop, which they accidentally dropped in the ocean. So we had to throw something together real quick right before the deadline.
Takashi kept it on his laptop. Unfortunately, he dropped it into the bath one day.
All the files were unrecoverable. So we had to whip up new models from scratch. And we didn't have time to give them facial animations.
We were having trouble remembering the entirety of the plot, so we had to guess and take liberties at some points.
Also, all of our animators just died, all at once.
There was a tragic bus accident. They were all isekai'd at once.
In another world, but I can actually make good anime here.
Hey, I'm God. I felt real bad about making you guys make X-Arm. So just you can do a good one here. I'll put you somewhere better.
The best thing about X-Arm is it made Berserk 2016, not that bad in comparison.
That's true. Someone finally managed to top Berserk 2016.
Like, I look at that now and go, you know, sure, the camera has no idea what it's doing in that, and the models are stiff and clunky.
But it could be worse.
It could be worse. They actually have facial animations.
They do.
That is the only nice thing I will say about that now. Or if someone goes, what do you like about the Berserk 2016 anime? Their faces emote.
They can have emotions.
Not well, but they can.
Oh. It's something truly amazing.
It really is. I enjoyed
like,
Dr. Stone this week.
Yeah, kind of like Chrome.
So we meet a guy, ACAB. He's a cop and he's a bastard.
He's the shittiest cop ever. Holy shit.
How old is this guy?
I don't know.
I thought they were basically all kids he was resurrecting, but this dude actually was a police officer and shot a dude.
In the back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Japan. It's not America. You can't just do that.
Yeah. I'm surprised he even had a gun.
Me too.
Yeah, they show a little bit of his backstory. He shoots a dude in the back running away. And these were criminals basically doing what I imagine is just tax fraud and stuff.
Yeah, because one dude is basically, I think he's paying off a cop because he's doing tax fraud and doesn't want to get caught. So
Yeah.
I guess
corruption or something. They're getting him on corruption charges.
He's just going to shoot him in the back.
And then he's explaining to his superiors, like, yeah, it's a lot easier if you just, shoot the criminals, just get to skip the whole trial. And it's like, okay, Frank Castle.
I know I already made this joke. That dude would have made an amazing American cop.
He would have. He would have been a great American cop.
Everyone would have loved him.
Until he did something, and then everyone would have hated him.
He's the typical cowboy gunslinger. And he would have gotten away with it.
Ask questions later.
He would have gotten away with it, because that's how policing works in America. You can't arrest the cops because no.
Yeah, but
that guy's
sucks.
an asshole.
He's an asshole, and he ends up losing because he's a dick.
Yeah, he's super elitist to like the I will say quote unquote primitives.
Yeah, even though I'm pretty sure Chrome knows more science than these guys do.
100%.
Chrome
outsmarts him. He makes some like acid using the battery, which he gets from a mysterious source.
I'm pretty sure it is the bow and arrow dude.
Me too.
I don't imagine this guy's going to... Well, actually, probably everyone's going to join the Kingdom of Science. I don't know where else you'd go.
Yeah. I'm going to form my own kingdom with just me.
We're going to be the bad cops kingdom.
We're going to be the ACAB kingdom. Call me
cops
Captain...
are badasses.
Call me ACAB.
But yeah, Chrome getting out this episode. This was a really cool Chrome-centric episode.
Yeah, because we have to, like, follow Chrome, basically figure out his situation. He figures everything out himself. And that's cool. That's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Because Chrome is not stupid. He's not like super scientist Senku who knows everything and can calculate everything. But he's a smart guy, and he can do problem solving. And it's fun to watch. Yeah, I did
like how he tricked the guy into thinking he had pneumonia.
Yeah, because he picked up some berries and he made it look like he was coughing up blood.
And then did a nut shot. Which honestly, I don't know. No matter what your situation, that's a pretty dick move.
Since it was on the worst cop who's ever existed, that's okay true, with it.
Actually, yeah.
And Chrome has no other survival attacks. Chrome is a strictly defensive player.
Yeah, now they don't need to drive over the pitfalls.
Yep.
And this dude won't get to be in the top 4 like he wanted. Even though it's the top 3, he just wanted to make it 4.
And something tells me they wouldn't let him in anyway.
Yeah, but he's the best baton user.
Tsukasa's smarter than that.
Honestly, baton. You got the best spearman there. The spearman's not going to lose to the baton guy.
Yeah.
Also, same with an archer. And then a man that can just punch a lion to death. Like, yeah, well, I'm really good with this stick.
I can use this tonfa, basically, real good.
He only uses 1, too.
Yeah, it's not like he uses 2. And he's not like the greatest martial artist ever. Because, Tsukasa.
Also, at one part, too, where he says to Chrome, he's like, you really think you can get away from us? I have modern police training. Is the Japanese police training even that really rigorous in terms of the combat situations they teach you for?
I didn't think so.
Because I know American cop training isn't even that good, but at the very least, most of it's weird combat situations because for some reason police departments always bring in dudes who are like, I'm an action hero. I'm going to show you guys what to do in this situation. You grab them in a chokehold and you go, ba 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 ba.
Yeah, I don't know what. There was one dude who was like super popular among PDs for his training techniques, and he called himself like the Killmonger or something in his seminars. Like it wasn't exactly
there was a police
that
department that had Steven Seagal come in to do training with them.
Yeah, he did the active shooter training with that police department.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal.
His martial arts that he knows apparently is Aikido, which is just throwing people who grab you. That's it.
Look up video of Steven Seagal doing martial arts, and you will see exactly what we mean. It is terrible.
Aikido actually is one of those things, too, where you watch it, and it's just people running up to you and falling forward for you.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's practical application to it, but obviously you don't do it because you would hurt somebody, but then at the same time, you're not really learning it.
I would say that karate is more interesting and or threatening to watch, and that's basically all just forms. Like you learn forms, and that's it.
And honestly, if you want to take down someone, I feel like judo is the better one to learn.
Yeah.
Because that's fully about just grabbing someone and slamming them against the ground.
It's good shit.
And that's an actual sport.
Yeah, it is.
How do you do an Aikido tournament?
You are Steven Seagal and you just win. That's the only thing I can think of.
Because they basically give it to you by thanking you for giving them legitimacy by showing up. That's basically it.
Yeah. It's sad. It's just sad.
F's in the chat for Aikido.
F's in chat for Aikido.
Superior karate will never be beaten.
Unless it's Aikido, because it's not superior karate. It's actually just an inferior martial art.
Well, it's not even karate.
That's true.
It's its own branch of just grabbing people who come at you with a knife by the wrist and then flipping them from their wrist.
It's one move that's kind of cool.
It is, yeah. I can imagine if it works, it's pretty cool. But how often is that going to really do anything for you in a street fight?
Since isekai are not real, that's not a very practical skill.
Also, that really only works if they're trying to grab you. It does nothing if they're standing in front of you with their fists raised, going to deck you in the face.
Yeah, from what I know, there are no blocks in Aikido.
Yeah, I don't believe there are blocks in it either. There's a lot of martial arts that aren't really useful. Like Tai Chi. That's not useful to defend yourself.
Tai Chi is meditation more than anything.
It's meditation, and I guess it teaches you to throw a few kicks and punches, but that's that, and they're not like in rapid succession either. It's like a solid whwa.
It's all Tai Chi is all about finding your inner core.
You gotta mix all the martial arts. So you gotta like do Tai Chi to channel everything into your inner core, and then you switch to Kung Fu and let it all out in like a punch. So you like charge with Tai Chi. That's your charge move.
If you gather everything in like the core of your body, I bet if you know what? I bet if you gathered all of your energy and stored it
all of
right
your chi.
in right in your core, I bet you could deliver a pretty sick kick.
Yeah, you switch to Taekwondo.
And just bam.
Taekwondo, that's another martial art you could learn where you can at least learn how to kick people in the head.
And you know what? From what I've heard, once you kick someone in the head, that fight is basically over.
Yeah. A lot of people don't stay standing after that. That's a lot of force.
And how do you even react to that? Like, you just got... That dude is so much better than you. He didn't even punch you. He kicked you in the head.
I'm pretty sure every clip of like an MMA fight that I've ever seen has always ended when the dude gets kicked in the head.
Yeah.
It's always one dude does that turnaround kick, just gets the guy and he's down.
The only skill you really need to learn is to just do a sick roundhouse kick right to the other person's face.
Yeah,
and
then
you've won
after that. That's martial arts in a nutshell.
Just kick someone in the face real good.
All you're trying to do in a fight anyway is hit someone in the head. Like, getting someone in the stomach sure is good, but it's not that good. Because most of the time in a fight, you're clenched anyway, so your muscles are kind of doing the blocking there.
You gotta give them a good shot to the noggin. You gotta ring their bell, dude. Ring their bell and the fight's over. I want to see a fight where someone knocks someone out with one good punch to the face and then just goes, ding dong, motherfucker. Because I know I won't do it because I don't get into fights.
You'll get into fights soon.
I need to get into a fight.
I'll help you out. I'm going to send goons after you until you play Final Fantasy. So, like, every day you'll just, like, leave your house and a bunch of my goons will show up. And you'll be like, guess it's that time of the morning again. And before you get to your car, you have to just get into basically a martial arts battle.
The goons will show up, and then I'll give them a briefcase, and they'll be like, what's this? And they'll open it, and it'll be full of my socks. And I'll just be like, more dirty laundry for you and your goons. And then I'll kick the socks into their face, and that's how I initiate the fight.
Yeah, you'll kick the briefcase into their face, and then you'll just be whipping around doing head kicks, doing
just
judo
non-stop
flips.
Kicks.
Then you'll get in your car and go to work, and then you'll come back and they'll have recovered by then, so they're waiting for round 2.
I don't go to work to get paid. I go to work to let your goons have some time to clean themselves up.
Yeah, and then they get ready, and then you show up, kick their ass again, you go back inside, go to bed, wake up the next day, and they've recovered again. Basically, this is like their spawn point. They just keep getting knocked out there and keep getting back up and going to fight.
It's the perfect plan.
They just live on your front lawn.
That's how I become a legendary martial arts master. It's like killing level 1 boars until I'm level 300.
Because it's great, because you work up a lot of strength doing that. So it's like, man, I'm in great shape. I'm really glad Alex sent these goons after me.
Yeah, they keep me on my toes, keeps me fit.
Eventually you're at the point where it's like you start living a healthier lifestyle. You wake up early and the goons aren't ready. Like one of them shows up with some coffee and donuts for the other ones, and they're like, oh shit, he's here. Put the stuff.
We gotta eat fast. Don't worry, gentlemen. I'll just be over here practicing my kata while you eat your donuts and drink your coffee.
And they're like, oh man, he's charged up.
Eventually I get to know all their names. So I'm just like, every time I roundhouse kick one, I'm like, morning, Tom. And then I roundhouse kick him. Morning, Jerry. And then bam, roundhouse kick him.
Do like an uppercut to the chin. Like, see ya, Matt.
Adios, Daniel, and I freaking suplex him just right into the ground.
They're there for weeks. They don't even go home to see their families. And you eventually see me at one point, and you're like, how much are you paying those dudes?
Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Now, sorry, Alex. Now I don't have time to play Final Fantasy because I need to spend all my spare time fighting the goons you send after me.
Yeah, you can't even play. You're busy with the goons. It's like I installed it the other day and I was about to start, but then they busted in.
And I was like, guys, I'm trying to get ready. And they were like, we were paid to do this. We've got a job and we're going to do it.
And then at this point, I'm like, yeah, I don't even play Final Fantasy anymore. I had to give up my subscription so I could pay the goons.
The truest tragedy.
It's the gift of the Magi.
I traded my Final Fantasy so I could hire goons to fight you until you played Final Fantasy. And now I live a healthier lifestyle, so I don't want to sit around and play video games all the time because I'm too busy fighting those goons.
What a mess.
What a mess.
What a mess. Like
Higurashi.
Hey, Ian, did you brush up on your Ryukishi extended universe?
No, but as soon as I saw the lady at the end of the episode, I was like, I'm going to have to ask Alex who that fucking lady is, man.
That's Featherine. She's a
Cool.
witch from Umineko. When the Seagulls Cry.
Cool.
But Ryukishi, I don't know why I said Ryushiki. Yeah, Ryukishi said in a thing recently that it is not actually Featherine, but it basically is. It's
What
like,
the
hey,
fuck?
here's my other character, but not really. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna call her Featherine.
It feels like he was like, watch this. I'm going to fool everybody. Because he said that this would have been a good series for people that jump into Higurashi. And I would say that is objectively false.
It is wrong.
He
lied.
It is not even like just wrong. Now it's the worst to start with.
It is the worst starting point.
Because
do you want to watch Higurashi Gou? Yeah. Well, first you got to watch all of Higurashi, and then you got to read Umineko.
Then just read Umineko.
And Umineko, you don't have to read the visual novel. There's actually a very good manga series for it. But here's the thing about the manga series. They dumb thick. They dummy thick. Them volumes is dumb thick.
Oh, God.
Speak or something. I'm going to actually send you a photo of what they look like.
All right. Like, you can't just tell people, because you had to know when you started this that you were going to include a character from another one of your properties. You can't just tell people that, yeah, this is a good one to start with. That's a lie.
Right. I cannot find it, but just Lord of the Rings don't come close to the amount of text you got to read.
Jesus. Those are
visual novel, but yeah. It's a project.
It's not a quick afternoon read.
I don't think it's going to matter that much, though, Featherine being in it, because I don't think he's really going to tie it to Umineko, just like, she's a bad witch. They're just going to go with that angle. She's just a bad witch character, but she's in a different location doing something else.
This is your visual shorthand for this character is an evil witch.
Yeah. I don't know
if
what he's trying to say is adult Hanyu Featherine?
That's what I'm wondering. Because I don't know. But that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Because she goes and she touches that weird, I guess, fragment of horn from the statue. Because now we know that Satoko has the powers. She gets the powers by touching the horn.
Yep, and this was actually an episode where I feel bad for Satoko. I get it now.
Yeah.
Also, why does this boarding school have a prison in the basement?
That's a very, very good question. I
Because
was wondering that too.
that is straight up prison cells, and it's not like they just have one.
They have a
They have a
lot.
whole row of them.
And it doesn't show where in the school they are. It just shows that the school has them.
I'm pretty sure it's probably the basement or something because there's no windows.
I would think so.
And they leave her in there for 2 days, and they even give her a prison jumpsuit.
They give her a prison jumpsuit. They give her books to study with, and they lock her underground by herself for 2 days.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked.
And Satoko doesn't even go crazy murder after that. Like they have a whole thing where the after school game club gets together and they have a whole thing.
I feel bad though because that part where she's inside the cell and just kind of going on about how she wishes she could go back and change it. Like, why did I say yes?
Yeah.
I should have just said no.
It's a good episode that sets us up to actually feel bad and to sympathize with Satoko.
Yeah.
So
Rika is being kind of a dick.
She is. I will give her credit though. She did not rat out Satoko after Satoko accidentally injured that girl.
Yeah.
It was the other snooty chick.
Mm-hmm.
But Rika she's getting a little bit lost in the sauce and she's leaving her friend behind.
Yeah, and honestly, it's sad to see.
It is.
It's because they all go hang out, they have fun again, and you can tell like Rika doesn't give a shit anymore. She's like, I've been friends with you guys for 100 years. I'm good.
Yeah. And even Satsuko is like, it's
in a way,
not the
I
same.
get it. Like, I get wanting to go after having to live through 100 years of the same thing.
And
most
dying.
of it is unpleasant memories.
Yeah.
So I totally get being like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not coming back. Screw this place. I've literally done everything here. And none of it's been fun.
It just kind of sucks for everybody. It would have been better if Rika was just like, Satsuko, I'm going to go to this fancy school. You do whatever you need to do. Instead of like trying to push Satoko into going to the fancy school with her.
Yeah, that was kind of selfish.
Yeah.
Because if she was gonna if she was gonna ignore her once they got in there, then don't have her do it at all.
Yeah. Let her go find herself somewhere else.
Because she basically said, I want this to be our dream.
Let Satoko have her own dreams.
Or if you really wanted her to be there, at least put in the effort.
Yeah. But it's the tragedy of their friendship. And it apparently culminates in more murder. So that's cool.
Yep. I had a friend who basically called it. He's like, yo, Featherine's in the OP. And I'm like, where? I don't see it. And even now I still don't see it, but I kind of saw Featherine coming. I didn't think it was going to be this blatant, but...
Yeah, where she literally walks up and is like, sup, nerds?
But yeah, so it all makes sense now. Featherine gives Satoko time loop powers, and Satoko kills Rika.
A lot. Now
the question is, how do we resolve this?
Yeah. I hope that everyone works through their shit in a healthy and productive way, even though it probably won't be like that.
Yeah.
Not at this point.
Hopefully we get an Umineko remake, a real one, not him doing like Umineko Go, because Umineko never had a good anime, so...
We can keep our fingers crossed. I'll watch it.
I will watch it too. And I hope you will keep watching us.
Yes. If you would be so kind to give the video a like if you did like it. If you would also subscribe to the YouTube channel to get updates for when we upload new stuff. Because now it's not just episodes. Now we have clips.
And the clips are, I'm pretty sure, they're only on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so gotta go on YouTube. Unless you watch the episodes, then it won't really mean much to you if you're, like, watching the entire thing.
Well, the clips are more for, like, man, this part was funny. We can share this. That's what it's a more of a marketing tool than anything else.
Yeah. Marketing.
So,
and branding.
So do that. That's what we're telling you guys. We're giving you homework. Because Alex is going to give me homework to play Final Fantasy XIV, to play a video game. We're going to give you homework to do marketing for us.
Yeah. I give everybody homework. I don't do any homework because I got a degree.
Yeah, Alex has a degree, so he doesn't need homework anymore. But if you want your weeb degree, if y'all want your weeb degree...
If you guys want to pass anime high school and get out of the protagonist seat and go be a, 30-something-year-old NEET who gets hit by a truck, then you got to work for it.
Exactly. You got to do your homework. If you're listening on other pod platforms, the iTunes, the Google Plays, the iHeartRadios, the whatevers you might be on, then do whatever the follow is for that platform. And hey, if you guys enjoy on whatever platform you listen to and you're like, man, I wish I could share this easier with people, check out our YouTube channel because we got clips.
And then Facebook, Twitter, at Protagonist Seed. I don't know if you already said that. The ending spiel becomes kind of a big sort of mushy mess to me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff to plug. We have a lot of stuff now. That's cool.
We have a lot of stuff. How cool is that? We have our own little media empire.
We do.
Now
we're going to do what all media empires do. We got to get in smaller people, which at this point is essentially just people with 5 subscribers. We got to get smaller people in, and then we got to say we're going to help them. But when actuality, we become like Machinima, where we control everything and basically stifle creators.
It's not a bad idea. We'll workshop it. I stream on Twitch if you want to hear me just shout about random bullshit. Or
yeah,
play
you want to see
game.
him eventually play Final Fantasy.
Someday. Twitch.tv/test my echo. It's a good time. Sometimes. Other times I play Apex and I lose for like 2.5 hours straight.
Yes, he plays Apex Legends.
Sometimes I also like to play Dead by Daylight. And sometimes I like to play some roguelikes. Maybe I'll play Risk of Rain again soon. That game is fun.
Play Hades.
Hades is fun. I do want to play that again.
Play Hades because Apex Legends is just the everybody plays it game. Apex Legends. I hate Apex Legends. I want to watch Hades.
Everyone plays Apex Legends, Alex says, as he also tries to push me into playing one of the most played MMOs on Twitch.
Not as much as World of Warcraft.
No, because for whatever reason that game
still
just won't
popular.
die.
I don't know why. Guys, I loved World of Warcraft. I let it go.
I've heard that Shadowbringers was pretty cool. Or Shadowbringers
is really good.
Fuck.
You're thinking of Shadowlands.
Shadowlands. There's too many Shadow expansions.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's cool.
I'm done with the lore. The lore was one of my big things for WoW, and it just got fucking dumb. Hey, yeah. Sylvanas is really bad, but not really. I don't fucking know.
That made me real.
The writers love Sylvanas, even though she really should have been taken out at some point.
Yeah. I don't know.
Bad writing. It makes me mad. I'm done. I'm waiting for World of Warcraft 2, and by that I mean that's not going to be a thing. Blizzard is whatever Blizzard puts out now is kind of just
derivative.
Thanks,
Um,
Activision.
hey, there's a guy out there called Popskyy. He makes music, and he made the song we use for our OP. He's pretty cool. His stuff's in a video description below. And that's it. That's all we got.
That is everything.
End of story. Goodbye.
Farewell.
Class dismissed.